Shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to another episode of Daily Tonic in the Word, right here on GC Crate TV. And I remain your one and only humble brother and your host, DGN Yasharala, who you know as Daniel Fiercing Lion Yasharala. And today we are starting from the book of Bere'shiyth, chapter 17, going down to wherever Yahuwah might lead us to. All praise to Yahuwah. And it says, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, Yahuwah appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am El Shaddai. Walk before me and be perfect, and I will make my covenant between me and you, and will multiply you exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Elohim talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be the father of many nations. Neither shall your name any more be called Abram, but your name shall be called Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made you. Verse 6. And I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and kings shall come out of you. And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your seed after you in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be Elohim unto you and to your seed after you. And I will give unto you and to your seed after you the land wherein you are a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their Elohim. And Elohim said unto Abram, you shall guard my covenant, therefore you and your seed after you in their generations. This is my covenant, which you shall guard between me and you and your seed after you. Every male child among you shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a sign of the covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every male in your generation, he that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of your seed. He that is born in your house, and he that is bought with your money, must need to be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant, not with those that he bought with money, not those who are not his own blood, him personally as Abraham. And the uncircumcised male child, whose flesh of foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. And Elohim said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, your woman, you shall not call her a name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. Verse 16. And I will bless her and give you a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Then Abram fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? And Abram said unto Elohim, that Ishmael might live before you. He was giving an excuse of, anyways, maybe it's Ishmael talking about. But see what Yahuwah said. And Elohim said, Sarah, your woman, shall bear you a son indeed. You shall call his name Yitzchak, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Yitzchak, which Sarah shall bear unto you at this set time in the next year. This to prove to you that when Yahweh actually means a word, it means the word. He gave him the declaration that your wife Sarah shall have this child this time, this same time next year. Verse 22. And he left off talking with him, and Elohim went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the self same day, as Elohim had said unto him. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the self same day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son. And all the men of his house, born in the house and bought with money of the stranger, were circumcised with him. Now, this passage is enough to prove to those people who also involve themselves in female child circumcision. That was not the ordinance of Yahuwah. The ordinance was circumcision for only male children once they are at the age of 8 days. Abraham's own was at the age of 99, because at that point Yahweh never told him about, or told his father about, the circumcision. But it was at the time of Abraham that Yahweh chose Abraham as his own chosen one among his other brothers, among his other cousins, his extended family. Let's press on. Chapter 18. And Yahuwah appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent, and bowed himself towards the ground. I want you to mark something here. Remember that verse 1 said, Yahweh appeared unto him. Yahweh appeared unto Abraham, but yet it was 3 men that he saw. Yahweh is great. Why do you think Yahweh made him see 3 men? Because probably, if he eventually saw only Yahuwah, he might have known what Yahuwah looked like. He might have even go ahead to even say, this is what Yahuwah looks like. And that can even make the wicked nations go ahead to go and paint Yahuwah to be according to their color. But Yahuwah came to Abraham, appeared to Abraham, yet it was 3 men that stand before him. Let's read further. And he said, my Adonai, if now I have found favor in your sight, pass not away, I pray you, from your servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourself under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort your hearts after that you have passed on. For therefore are ye come to your servant, and said, So do as you have said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto El Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cake upon the heat. And Abraham ran into the herd, and fetched a calf, tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hastened to dress it. And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them, under the tree, and they did eat. Verse 9. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah your woman? They said unto him, Where is Sarah your woman? Let's go on. And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto you according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah your woman shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age. And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. This actual part is talking about what they call menopause today. A time whereby a woman cannot be able to bear children anymore. Let's keep reading. Therefore, Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Adonai being old also? What is she trying to say? She's saying, she who is old, that can she have pleasure? Talking about at her old age. Can she at this old age, and her husband at his old age, still say that they want to have sex and give birth? That can she even enjoy the pleasure? Not to even talk of having a child. What happened next? Verse 14. Is anything too hard for Yahuwah? At the time appointed, I will return unto you according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. And then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but you did laugh. Later you will keep saying, I want to be like our foremother Sarah. Sarah also lied. Sarah lied. She laughed, but she denied that she never laughed. Even if you are even afraid, that doesn't give you the priority to lie. The scripture itself says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. We are meant to speak the truth, no matter what happens. Let's go further. Verse 16. And the men rose up from thence and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And Yahuwah said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall guard the way of Yahuwah, to do justice and judgment, that Yahuwah may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him. This is how Yahuwah is meant to be proud of every brother who is a father out there. You should be that kind of man that will be able to command your children and your household to keep the way of Yahuwah. Don't be that man that you say that you are the man of the house, but yet, as the man of the house, your wife, your children will be telling you that, Daddy, I will do what I want to do. We are in a world of freedom, as the devil has given it to us all. But at the same time, you as a father, if the child chooses not to obey the way of Yahuwah, you have the right to let the child go. Because even Yahushua Mashiach said, he that love son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So if it is your child that said that, you know, you're the father of this house, but I'll do what is okay by me. Me as a person, as a man, such things dare not happen in my house. Because I won't tolerate it. And anyone will even try that in my house, I'll let them know. The only consequence to what I've done is that you cannot be under my roof while I'm obeying Yahuwah and you're disobeying what Yahuwah says. So the best to do is, if you want to continue your own wayward and worldly lifestyle that's not in the way of Yahuwah, pack your things and leave. That's the strict fact. But let's press on. Verse 20. And Yahuwah said, because the cry of Sodom and Amorah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done although according to the cry of it, which is come unto me. And if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from them and went towards Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before Yahuwah. And Abraham drew near and said, will you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Perchance there be 50 righteous within the city. Will you also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are there within? Verse 25. That there be for you, that be far from you, to do after this manner, to slay the righteous and the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? Verse 28, 6. And Yahuwah said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sake. And Abraham answered and said, behold, I have taken upon me to speak unto Adonai, which am but dust and ashes. Perchance shall you lack 5 of the 50? Will you destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spoke unto him yet again, said, perchance there be 40 found therein. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, oh, let not Adonai be angry, and I will speak. Perchance there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I found 30 there. If I found 30 there. Verse 31. And he said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto Yahuwah. Perchance there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, oh, let not Yahuwah be angry. See how Abraham was persuading. See how Abraham was persuading on behalf of Sodom and Amorah for not be destroyed. Verse 32. And he said, oh, let not Yahuwah be angry, and I will speak yet, but this once. Perchance 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And Yahuwah went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham, and Abraham returned unto his place. Why did Yahuwah left Abraham when he got to this time of 10? Because Yahuwah knew that if he can persuade him from 50 to 45 to 40 to 30 to 20 now to 10, he can end up persuading Yahuwah to 5. And then persuade Yahuwah to 5, he can also persuade Yahuwah to 4. Meanwhile, remember that Lot only has himself, his wife, and 2 daughters. That's 4 of them. Meanwhile, his judgment must fall upon Sodom.
sponsorship, advert placement, please call or WhatsApp this number +234 811 731 0928.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. So let us hit back from where we stop. Bere'shiyth chapter 19. And it says, "And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face towards the ground, and he said, Behold now, my Adonai, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and you shall rise up early and go on your way. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the streets all night. He pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and he did bake matzah, I guess that should be bread, and they did eat. Now, what do you observe? Abraham also as well. He saw those three men. He brought them into his house. He pleaded with them so that he can be able to entertain them. Same also applied to Lot. Lot even pleaded. He persuaded them exceedingly until they agreed and allowed him to entertain them. Now, here's the question. How many of you Hebrews actually have that spirit of hospitality? Are you that particular person that's always trying to turn hospitality into a business? Because one particular person is trying to come right now, then you are expecting them to pay you for your house, to pay you, how do I call it? You know, normally, for example, when someone was trying to come right here, maybe from the diaspora coming to Nigeria, for example, normally they are meant to get lodge in an hotel. Are you that kind of Hebrew that's expecting your fellow brethren to come into the place where you are dwelling? Despite how close you are in communication, you expect them to now get here, and you are saying that let them go and stay in the hotel. My house actually is too poor. Why don't you even give it out first? Let them also feel the love, that brotherly love. Welcome them into your house, and I'm sure they will always accept and they will appreciate even the little you might entertain or give to them in hospitality. Let's read on. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, and all the people are very out from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came in to you this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have two daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. Do you observe that here, Lord is even the one trying to persuade those wicked people of Sodom. He's even ready to give his daughters for ransom just to save these visitors that he took in. Not knowing that he actually entertained powerful people. He actually entertained angels. He actually entertained supernatural people, terrestrial beings. He never knew that. Verse 9. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will need to be judged. Now we will deal worse with you than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. Do you observe that at this point, they have already started saying that those who are sojourning, that they must be judged. That is how wicked some of our people are. I have seen cases, I have heard of cases of how some of our people who claim to be true Hebrews, but yet when a fellow Hebrew who is a stranger in their land, because it's of a different language, once they get to their community, this is the way they also treat them as well. They treat them badly, which is not right. Let's go on. Remember, at this point, they were about to break the door, but the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut to the door. Who actually pulled him in? The men that he entertained. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both the small and great, so that they were wearied, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, have you here any besides, sons-in-law, or your sons and your daughters, and whatsoever you have in the city, bring them out of this place, for we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his son-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for Yahuwah will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his son-in-law. And when the morning arose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take your woman and your two daughters, which are here, lest you be consumed in the iniquity of this city. Now, what do you observe? Lot as well was also trying to see if they can also save his sons-in-law. But because of the demonic spirit in them, they chose to end up mocking him. But what did the angel do? The angel asked Lot, take your woman and your daughters and just go now. Otherwise, you will perish, you will be consumed in the iniquity of this city. Verse 16. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his woman, and upon the hand of his two daughters, and Yahuwah being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. This is to tell you that truly there's something we call divine speed and disappearance. Imagine where Lot was living in that land of Sodom. Let me give an imagination. Let me give an example. For example, imagine someone who live in a place like let me say Shagam in Nigeria. Someone who live in Shagam, and Yahuwah was like sending those angels. They must leave now. For the fact that they don't have much time, the angels held them, and from Shagam, they found themselves at the border of the city. They are outside that city already. That means in the space of few seconds, they've left Shagam, they found themselves at Badagry, at the Nigerian border to Benin Republic. Wow. Let's press on. 17. And it came to pass when they had brought them forth abroad, and that he said, escape for your life, look not behind, neither stay in the circle of the Yarden, escape to the mountains, lest you be consumed. And Lord said unto them, oh, not so, my Adonai. Behold, now your servant has found grace in your sight, and you have magnified your mercy, which you have shown unto me in saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? My soul shall live. And he said unto him, see, I have accepted you concerning these things also, that I will not overthrow this city, for which you have spoken. Make haste, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till you are come thither. Therefore, the name of the city was called Soar. And the sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Soar. And Yahuwah rained upon Sodom and upon Amorah brimstone and fire from Yahuwah out of the heavens. And he overthrew those cities and all the circles of the Yarden and all the inhabitants of the city, that which grew upon the ground. And his woman looked back from behind, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abram got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before Yahuwah. Now, look at that verse 26. It says, the wife of Noah looked behind, and she became a pillar of salt. I'm sure that many of those who actually might be out there may try to make this particular verse a kind of mocking word, saying that if the scripture says you should not look back, and Lot's wife looked back, who now actually confirmed that she became a pillar of salt. Don't forget, these happenings actually had happened before the birth of Moses. But remember that when we still get there, you will still see when Yahuwah took Moshe to the mountain for days and was showing him things. Most of the things that he was shown are the backtrack of what has happened, events that has happened. That was why I was able to put it down into writing, which ended up becoming the Torah, which happens to be the 5 books written by Moses. So for those who are saying that if they said that the wife of Lot look back became a pillar of salt, who actually look back to confirm that she made a pillar of salt, the Most High Yah cannot be mocked. Stop that. It's not funny. Verse 28. And he looked towards Sodom and Amorah, and towards all the land in the circle of Yarden, and beheld, lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when Elohim destroyed the cities of the circle of Yarden, that Elohim remembered Abram and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow. And when he overthrew the city in which Lot dwelt. And Lot went out of Soar and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him. And he feared to dwell in Soar. And he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night. And the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, or nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said to the younger, behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, and nor when she arose. Look at it here. The daughters think because Yahweh had destroyed that city of Sodom, they believe that there's no other men anywhere. That was when the devil came into their mind to make them think that the best option now is to sleep with their father so that they can pass on legacy. That is why I do advise brothers. Even if you want to take wine, know your limit. When you observe that you are getting to your limit, stop. Because when you get drunk, some actions might happen that you might take, which might end up ruining you forever. Because you will claim to say that you took those actions out of the influence of alcohol, out of the influence of wine. But will that reverse the evil that you have done in the sight of Yahuwah? So be careful. Verse 36. Thus were both daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bore a son and called his name Moab. And the same is the father of the Moabim, which they call Moabite, unto this day. And the younger, she also bore a son and called his name Benamin. The same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. That's why we have Moab and Ammon. And in case you don't know, those two nations today, they are still in existence. Remember, Lot himself was also looking like his uncle. He was dark skinned too. Our leader actually have never been pale faced. So that's why I do tell people, whenever you hear about some people, because they are your skin color, that they are your people. And in case you don't know, that Moab and Ammon of those days, today they are the so-called Korea and Japan, those Asian nations. So when you see their Negro versions, the dark skin version of them, don't think they are your people. They are the descendants of Lot. They are that children, the real children of the two daughters of Lot. The Japanese and the Chinese, the Koreans, they are not our people, no matter how dark skinned they are. So for those who are out there saying that the first samurai of China is a dark skinned man and blah blah blah, is not a chosen Hebrew. He is the son of Lot, which was given birth to him by his own daughters. Let's press further. Chapter 20. And Abraham journeyed from thence towards the country of Negev, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned to Gerar. And Abraham said unto Sarah, his woman, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. Again, remember it happened in Mishrim, now in Gerar. And took Sarah. And behold, Elohim came to Abimelech in a dream that by night, and said to him, behold, you are but a dead man. For the woman which you have taken, she is a man's woman. But Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Adonai, will you slay also a righteous nation? Because he knew Yahuwah can, because of his own sin, destroy the entire land of Gerar. You knew who Yahuwah is. Verse 5. Said he unto me, she is my sister. And she even she herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocence of my hands have I done this. And Elohim said unto him in a dream, yea, I know that you did this in the integrity of your heart. For I will withhold you from sinning against me. Therefore, suffer I you not to touch her. Now, therefore, restore the man his woman, for he is a prophet. That to see that truly, now you can see that Abraham was a prophet. Not that he was just a mere man that feared Yahuwah and he said that is Yahuwah's friend. He's a prophet. Abraham was a prophet. Let's keep pushing. And he shall pray for you, and you shall live. And if you restore her not, know you that you shall surely die, you and all that is yours, that are yours. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said unto him, what have you done unto us? And what have I offended you, that you have brought unto me and my kingdom a great sin? You have done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abram, what saw you that you have done this thing? And Abram said, surely, because I thought, surely the fear of Elohim is not in this place, and they may slay me for my woman's sake. And yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, and not the daughter of my mother. And she became my woman. And it came to pass, when Elohim caused him to wander from my father's house, then I said unto her, this is your kindness which you can show unto me, that every place whither we shall come, say of me, he is my brother. And Abimelech took sheep and oxen and men servants and women servants and gave them to Abram, and restored him Sarah his woman. And Abimelech said, behold, my land is before you, dwell where it pleases you. And unto Sarah he said, behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to you a covering to the eyes, unto all that are with you, and with all other. Thus she is reproved. So Abram prayed unto Elohim, and Elohim healed Abimelech and his woman and his handmaid and his maid servants, and they bore children. For Yahuwah had fast closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Avram's woman. See how powerful Yahuwah is. Because of one person, he shut the womb of everyone under the house of Abimelech. So with this, I'm making it a close on today's episode of Daily Tonic in the Word. See you tomorrow on next episode. I remain your humble brother, Daniel First Lion Yasharala, right here on GC Create TV. And with this, I say shalom and bye for now.